Namaste, Pranam. Meditation on the Bhagavad Gita. ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्. O Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Partha, which was included in the Mahabharata by the ancient sage Vyasa. O goddess, content in the 18 chapters and showerer of the nectar-like knowledge of non-dualism, O my affectionate mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. And now Krishna Vandana. वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकीं परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. O son of Vasudeva, the destroyer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki, O Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. And today we will read the 23rd Shloka of Sankhya Yoga, the second adhyaya of the Bhagavad Gita. And Sri Krishna is explaining to Arjuna about the super mundane quality of the Atman. That again and again, Krishna is emphasizing this fact that don't consider Atman and body to be same. One that you are thinking you are going to kill is only the unreal physical body. You are not, nobody can kill Atman. And now Sri Krishna says, in the last shloka, he had given us how this Atman getting, tired of the old clothing starts looking for the new cloth, for the new garments. And then he decides, yes, now is the time to change this garment. Better I get a new one and discard this old, tattered body, worn out body, which is not going to be of any use, may not be very old. The body may not be very old for that matter, but that body is not going to be effective in fulfilling the goals and objectives. So better discard the body, get into a new one which is going to get me closer to my ideal, closer to my goal. So we the Atman discards the old body, gets into the new one. And now Sri Krishna says, nainaṁ chhindanti śhastrāṇi nainaṁ dahati pāvakaḥ na chainaṁ kledayantyāpo na śhoṣhayati mārutaḥ. Now he is talking about how the Atman as such is not affected by anything. So here it says, na enam chhindanti śhastrāṇi. Na enam, not this. Chhindanti can be cut. Can be cut by what? Śhastrāṇi, by the weapons. So weapons cannot cut this. That is one quality Sri Krishna is categorically telling Arjuna. How is Atman? The Atman cannot be cut by weapons. Nainaṁ dahati pāvakaḥ. Na enam dahati pāvakaḥ. Na enam is again not this. Dahati, burn. Pāvakaḥ is fire. Fire cannot burn it. So the second quality Sri Krishna is telling about the Atman. Na chainaṁ kledayantyāpo. Na chainaṁ. Na cha enam. That we already, and also not this. Kledayanto. Kledayanti is getting wet. Getting wet with what? Apaha, water. It cannot be made wet. Water cannot wet it. in simple terms. Water cannot wet it. Na śhoṣhayati mārutaḥ. Again, na is not śhoṣhayati. Śhoṣhayati is dried. Mārutaḥ is wind. The wind cannot dry it. Water cannot wet it. Fire cannot burn it. And weapons cannot cut it into two. Because it is avyaya. We have seen that the quality of the Atma as avyaya. It cannot be divided. So therefore, nainaṁ chhindanti śhastrāṇi. The weapons cannot cut it into two, cannot divide it into two. So weapons do not cleave the Atman. Fire burns it not. Water wets it not. And wind dries it not. That is the quality of the Atman, that it doesn't get affected like the physical body. Supposing we put our finger in fire, it gets burned. Supposing while cutting, the knife cuts our finger, what happens? Suddenly blood starts oozing out. We get the finger gets injured. We get tremendous pain. That happens on the physical level. We go outside in the rain, we get wet. And when there is a strong wind, that wind even dries it, the water. When we take head bath and all, then we put the hair dryer and dry the wet hair. So it all happens at the physical level, not at the level of the Atman. Because Atman cannot be cut into two pieces by any weapons. Atman cannot be burnt by fire. It cannot get wet by water, nor it can get dried in the wind. So that is the mundane doesn't affect the Atman. Among the five elements, Akash is one that is actionless. Now this is Swami Chidbhavanandaji's commentary on this shloka. So no reference to it is made here. Now Krishna has used the four natural elements. He has used the material, the earth in terms of weapons, śhastrāṇi. Fire, of course, is there. Water, of course, is there. And wind is there. But he has not used the word space. Because Swami Chidbhavanandaji says the Akasha, the fifth element which is missed out from this list of four, is the one that is actionless. The space does not perform any action, and not like the earth or water or fire or wind. Not like that. Space doesn't have any action to be performed, and therefore that element is not included by Sri Krishna in this shloka. The actions of other four elements do not affect the Atman, like we have seen. Sri Krishna has explained us. Weapons are made of the stuff which the earth is. That is the first element. Atman being indivisible, weapons cannot cut it. And all these four active elements are incapable of acting on Akasha, which is inert. How then can they act on Atman, which is Chit Akasha? Atman is also referred to as Chit Akasha, the inert Akasha, which transcends the inert Akasha itself. So, therefore, the four elements which normally have some kind of effect on the physical beings, all those four elements, they don't have any influence, they don't have any effect on the Atman, which is Chit Akash. So that is the nature of the Atman. So Sri Ramakrishna's teaching, Swami Chidbhavananda ji has given here. This is again a beautiful teaching. He has told us the same thing that Sri Krishna has told Arjuna. The Atman remains unaffected by mundane things. These are the teachings of Sri Ramakrishna. The Atman remains unaffected by mundane things, by the four, elements that Sri Krishna has narrated in this shloka. The Shastra, pāvakaḥ, āpaḥ, mārutaḥ, the earth, fire, water, and wind. The pleasure and pain, virtue and vice, the dual states such as these do not have sway on the Atman. This is Sri Ramakrishna's teaching. It doesn't get affected by anything. Neither the mundane things nor the dualities, opposite dualities of this, the we experience in the life. Virtue and vice, pleasure and pain, joy and sorrow, all these things, they don't affect Atman at all. But they affect the person identified with the body. Me as a person, I can feel pain, pleasure, I can feel joy, sorrow, I can feel happiness and sadness. I can feel it, but not the Atman. As a person embodied, with the body. When I identify myself with the body, I can experience all these opposite dualities that we face in the life, but not the Atman. And then Sri Ramakrishna gives this very beautiful example. Smoke tarnishes the walls, but not the space within them. Supposing we create a fire, where we are, say, for example, we are doing some homa or something. We burn some firewood. What happens? A lot of smoke gets generated, and if that smoke goes over the walls, over the ceiling, it will create that black soot. It will create the black soot on the physical walls and ceiling and other structures. But the space which is occupied in this room, it doesn't get affected by it. There is no black soot formation in the space as such, because space again is actionless. Akasha is like Sri Krishna has not included Akasha's effect on Atman. He has spoken about weapons as earth. It cannot be cut. Sri Krishna has said that water cannot wet it. Sri Krishna has said that fire cannot burn it. Sri Krishna has said that wind cannot dry it. So all the four elements, they have no effect. And he has not included space, Akash. And likewise, in similar quotation, Sri Ramakrishna says that the Akasha inside the room, the space inside the room is not affected by the black soot, by the smoke, but the walls and the ceilings. They will form that thin layer of black soot on top of them if we burn fire, and a lot of smoke is created. Likewise, the Atman doesn't get any kind of effect, influence by these mundane things. So again and again, Sri Krishna is telling the permanent nature of the Atman. He is explaining it to Arjuna, and he is explaining to us that that is the only reality which doesn't get affected by anything, and which has on the physical plane, any of these physical forces, they don't have any impact, they don't have any action on the Atman as such. It is ever in itself. It is Satchitananda. So that is Atman is super mundane, and in the next few verses also, Sri Krishna is going to talk about the similar properties of Atman that we will read in our subsequent readings. As of now, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ramakrishna. Jai Thakur. Jai Swamiji.